within the last minute or two. Steve Cohen has been approved by Major League Baseball owners to be the new owner of the New York Mets organization. This was expected. It was thought that this was going to be the case, but there were some people inside of the room who did not want Steve Cohen to take over as Mets owner for any number of reasons. Probably the most prominent, that he is going to be far and away the wealthiest owner in Major League Baseball's history. But what he is bringing to the Mets now, so long as Mayor Bill de Blasio allows this to happen, which is also expected today, means a new day for the New York Mets, a new era for a franchise that has had a lot of pain and suffering under its old ownership.
Yeah, as you mentioned, Mayor Bill de Blasio of New York has to sign off on this because of the team's lease for Citi Field with New York City. But as you say, that's now expected to actually happen today. In terms of ownership, how do they feel about the fact that Steve Cohen, although he's never been convicted in any criminal proceeding, his former hedge fund firm, SAC Capital Advisors, pleaded guilty to securities fraud 7 years ago, and one of his employees was convicted of insider trading in 2014?
Yeah, listen, that's the reason that this thing is not going through a lot smoother. That's the reason that Bill de Blasio is looking into it. That's the reason that there's pause among some owners inside of Major League Baseball. But I think in the end, Jeremy, one thing we have to recognize is that owners are looking out for themselves. And when they see the purchase price of a team like the New York Mets fetching upward of $2.5 billion, that means their franchise values are going to go up as well. And a healthy New York Mets organization is only a good thing for the rest of baseball. We see how a healthy New York Yankees organization has now taken franchise values beyond what I think anyone ever considered they could be. The Mets, if they are run the right way, if they turn into a successful organization, can be every bit as powerful as the New York Yankees in the biggest city in the United States, in the biggest media market in the world.
Sandy Alderson apparently coming back. He was the general manager for 8 years. Then he was out on sick leave. Of course, he was with the Oakland A's for 2 decades at the end of the 20th century. The fact that Stephen A. Cohen wants to bring in Sandy Alderson, bring him back, 72 years old, what does that tell us about the way he's going to run this from a baseball operations perspective?
It tells us that Steve Cohen wants stability. Steve Cohen wants somebody who has been there, who brings respect to the job, and who probably can groom somebody. And we don't know who that's going to be. You know, somebody like Mike Chernoff from the Cleveland Indians is a name that's been kicked around, a guy who's from New York. It could be somebody else. But in the end, Sandy Alderson's there to steady the ship, and then they're going to put rocket fuel in it, whether it's with free agents, whether it's with trades, and try and shoot the thing to the moon.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.